Dice Souls 2. Pretty easy and simple. We start off naming our character Dice Mancer. I mistyped and put Dice Mancer 3 at first, but it's Dice Mancer 2. Dice Mancer 3 will be Dark Souls 3. I choose the deprived class, and I also go with the gift of nothing just to make myself even more deprived. But before we do anything else, we go ahead and we fight our first boss. Yippee! Go away! Alright, what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
You fucked up.
No, I didn't. I know what I'm doing.
No, you didn't.
I know what I'm doing, Doc. I promise. I promise.
You know I like to play for your downfall, right?
Bro, you're praying for my downfall. You're like, he's gonna fuck it up. He's gonna fuck it up. He's gonna fuck it up. Now, I'm not gonna show this every single time, but as I level, I roll a 10-sided die in order to actually level up and see what stat I level. Here's how that goes. I'll only show it once, I promise. Recording. Alright, now that I know it works, there's like no jump at all. Okay, so first roll, once I get back to here and start talking to her to level up. Okay, could you fucking speak to me? Okay. First thing first. First roll is a 4. Let's see. So 1, 2, 3. Attunement. Fucking attunement. Okay. Second roll is a 3. It's vitality. I realized hold on. I wasn't switching between just to show that I there we go. I wasn't switching between the two screens when I was between rolling. So there we go. Then a 4 again. That's cool. Glad we got that. Glad we got that. Awesome. Oh jeez. So that's a 4.
We need attunement.
Yep. Next roll is a 4 because why wouldn't it be? Okay, 1 second. I'm gonna. This. Hold on. Can I scale this down a little bit? As I wanted it to. So I already did that. Roll. It was a 10. I get to choose. I get to fucking choose. Yeah, it's a 10. I get to choose.
Wait. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh god, yeah, you get
I get to choose. I get to choose.
Well,
I don't know what I want.
Dex would be nice, to be honest.
I don't want to finish leveling up until I'm done. Okay. Next one is a 7. What's that? ADP? That's ADP. Okay. I'm getting some decent luck here. God damn it, I got a fucking 4.
Nice.
I
You
mean,
love attunement here.
Look, okay, that's not bad because, I need the attunement anyways because now I got my first slot at 10 anyway, so that's fine with me. That's fine with me. Eight. Ooh, intelligence. Oopsies. Intelligence.
Okay. Going for
I'm becoming
magic build,
smarter.
eh?
I mean, look, I need to get dark. My defense against you is not high enough, okay? I'm just saying. Next roll. Let's see. I got 1. That's vigor.
That's vigor.
More health. I'm a healthy boy. I forgot, you can't see my rolls because it's on the second monitor. 4!
Attunement!
More attunement! Woo! Next roll. 2! That's endurance, baby!
Endurance!
Woo! That's stamina! 2! That's endurance, baby! More stamina! I get 2 again. I'm gonna shit myself. 1! 1! That's bigger! I'm a healthy boy! I got what? 2 more levels? Hold on, I'm just gonna roll both of them real fast. A 7, which is ADP, and what's the next one? A 10. Okay, that's more like it.
Okay.
So, 1 ADP and then 1 faith because I got to get 20 faith and intelligence. So, after that fiasco of leveling up, I decided to go and fight the Iced Giant. And unfortunately, I didn't know about the mace or the hand axe at first, and you can see how low I got him with just this. But all it took was one simple mistake of dodging just a slightly bit too early, and unfortunately this happened. About 15 minutes of work down the drain. So I go and I grab a key for a mansion inside of Majula. But on my way there, I make a stop next to Malincha, and I go through, and I remember she has weapons. One of them being the hand axe. So I purchase it, as one does, and I'm looking through other stuff to see if I need anything else, since I have some souls. Well, I didn't know how much my strength was at. I think my strength is at 6. I don't think I got any levels, so I equipped it. And moment of truth comes, and I can wield it. Last giant, here I come. And, well, it does a lot more damage than nothing. But as I got squashed by him, it's my turn to squash him down, like the bug he is. And finally, I've unlocked the second, well, I guess the third boss of this playthrough, which goes quite well, actually. I want to mention there's a lot of speaking parts in this, so you'll hear me like in the in-game version versus the post-editing, right? What I'm doing right now. But as you can see, first attempt goes swimmingly great. Second attempt goes a lot better. I tried to pull the classic move, and it doesn't want to work for me, of course. It never wants to work for me. And then I was told to stand back next to this barrel instead, and that actually worked a lot better. As you can tell by, his health bar taking 2 hits of damage. But before I could get the second one off, he moved, because I wasn't quick enough. Regardless, in the end, he falls down, and Pursuer has been pursued, for the first time of 7. The Flexile Sentry goes about as you would expect. I mean, it's really not that hard of a boss when you have a weapon that's manageable, especially if you're not using fire against it. But we go up and we grab the Pyromancer Flame. I do want to mention that all of this recording sessions, they will all be in the description below the entire playlist. It's unlisted, but it's all there in the description, if you want to see my suffering the entire time, that is. If you notice, I'm going through the early game decently fast, and that's because it really did go by fast, and I don't think you want to see every single boss, die in the early game by the same exact weapon, the Rapier. But I like the weapon, so I'm going to use it in this run since it's the easiest access I have for, powerful enemies. But regardless, here's the Ruined Sentinels. It went, honestly, quite easy.
Hey, you got this though. There you go.
Easy. Fucking. Okay, this was my most hated fight on my first playthrough. My second playthrough, I was like, nah, I like this fight. It's fun. And then, now I'm like, man.
My most hated fight in this game is the gargoyles, man. The gargoyles were the annoying ones for me.
And speaking of the gargoyles, let's go ahead and kill this pursuer so we can open up Belfry Luna. If you're wondering why some of the gameplay is silent while my voice is over it, it's because that I can't control the mic level of other people, and I don't want everyone to hear a really high-pitched ring noise. I apologize. Come at me, big ass. Yep, alright, that was easy.
But that's all. Okay.
Yeah, because there's 6 of them. It's 6 gargoyles. How about that? Instead of the 4 keys, you got the 6 guards. Lag, but they're both hot from the waist down, so doesn't matter.
I mean, yeah.
Now it's time to fight Nashka. Nashka's not too hard. She's quite cool, honestly, and she hurts. She hurts a lot, very much.
Deal. No.
You can't cut her tail off.
You can cut her tail off.
No.
Yes.
No. That's abuse.
Yes.
That's abuse. You can't.
It's not abuse.
Why do men's IQ drop so low when they're together, man?
Nom 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 nom.
Just for that, I'm drinking. After I beat the Skeleton Lords.
Go, 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 go.
I know it's not anything new, but the first time I saw the Bone Wheels in Dark Souls 2, I got pure PTSD flashbacks from Dark Souls 1. Oh my god, it was terrifying. But then I backtracked, I went to the Executioner's Chariot after the Skeleton Lords, and I kind of wish this boss fight had more to it. But there's really only two ways it can die, is if it doesn't make the gap, which I have no clue how to make it not make the gap, or if you use the lever and you bring down the gate. I don't get that. Is there a way to do it? I don't know. But I now hold the world record for the first death to the Covetous Demon. First ever person to die to it. Yeah, you can get your autographs later, guys. Don't worry. Perfectly fine. But I come back from these and I killed him. I wish I didn't have to. Thankfully, there's a nice cuter one in the Frozen Outskirts. Now we start making our way to Mytha. Mytha's a pretty fun boss, honestly. She was my favorite for a while, until I got to Looking Glass Knight, because I kind of like the aspect of having like a little healing pool of acid for her. But honestly, it's really not too hard. Just kind of stick to her left, your right, and she goes down. Next up, we get to the Iron Keep, and I buy the Jester outfit for a specific reason I will tell later on. And by later on, I mean in like maybe like a minute, like 60 seconds. But not before I buy the Humanity. I go and I buy the Repair Powder, and I decide to buy the Fragment Branch of Healworm. But this is why I bought the Jester outfit. I think she looks funny in it. That's all. She doesn't really have too much. And I was thinking about using Pyromancy in this run. So I decided to buy a couple items. There's a certain boss item using Pyromancy on. So, if you can guess the boss before this, congratulations. Anyways, I give her the Jester outfit because the Jester outfit looks good on her. And it's totally not because somehow she got frozen. How do you get frozen? And how come I always die to the Smelter Demon on the first attempt? I've never beaten this boss first try. Oh my god. I hold the record for being the dumbest fucking person, I swear. Doomwolf, I got you beat. There we go. Easy. Easy, easy, easy. I just had to get in my groove again. Like I usually do. Get to the groove and be all on the move. Die. And he's dead. Okay. After beating the Smelter Demon, the Fourth Pursuer, the Old Iron King, and the Lost Sinner, I made my way down to go into sight to beat the Royal Rat Vanguard. There's really not much to say about this fight. You just run, hit a rat, kill it, and you wait till the boss spawns and it has a mohawk. You know what its boss is because it has a mohawk. And then you just fight that one. Honestly, the only war you have is being petrified, so if you don't want to get petrified, wear high petrification stuff, or just run away and get really lucky with your hits. Next up is the Rotten. It's a boss that, honestly, it's not too difficult. It's not really difficult at all. Just stay to your right and his left, which is where my character is going right now, for those who are wondering. I'm assuming you know your rights and left, but just in case you don't, just keep pivoting towards the arm without the blade. Try to stay around the side of him or behind him. Don't stay in front of him too much, as he'll sometimes puke up oil. And if your character gets covered with oil, or gets picked up like this and twisted like a rag, you're going to be in a little bit of danger, as oil will cover your body, and if you step in the fire, you will explode. He also has an AoE that explodes, so you just want to stay decently away from that. Other than that, he's pretty simple. Just don't touch the fire. Try to stay to his right, his left, and you should be good. Don't take hits like I do, though. I suck at this game. Once again, we have another rat boss, the Royal Rat Authority. Honestly, I think this boss is kind of cool. It suffers from the same syndrome that Sif does, which is it has too many hops for its own good. But it suffers from another Sif syndrome of having thigh gaps that you can be under because there's very little hitboxes there. So you can just hit the legs and you should be good. By the end of it, you'll kill him. If you're using a different type of weapon like a staff, just wait till he finishes his charge, roll through it, and you should be able to hit the head decently. Or when he does a swing like this, you should have time to attack him. But sometimes he'll jump away. And sometimes you dodge too early. But with that, in the end, shouldn't be too hard. It's a pretty basic boss, and he goes down quite easily. It's an optional boss that a lot of people probably don't like fighting, but it's fun. I like the boss. I think there's too much hate in it. Or there's not enough hate, one of the two. The Mages and Congregation fight is honestly just not really much of a fight. And all you gotta do is just run around, kill them one at a time, and it's really not about luck or skill. The enemies they have low health, and I don't even know how this counts as a boss. This is I want to say the equivalent of having the Asylum Demon as a boss inside of the Dark Souls games. It's not hard, and it's just there. But it's really funny because the Rapier can't actually hit these enemies when they're on the ground. So I had to pull out my staff. The Duke's Dear Frere is a boss that, honestly, when I first saw it, I thought it was going to be a lot harder than it was. Unfortunately, it kind of suffers from the same kind of issue that Seath the Scaleless does, where as long as you stay out of the line of sight... Wait, it drops the Pale Drake Soul on New Game Plus. It's literally just Seath the Scaleless. Oh, that caught my line of tracks so far. I had to go off script for this. Because that's how you get the Moonlight Greatsword. That's why. It suffers from the same thing. Just stay out of the beams and stay out of the way and you're fine. Get in attacks when you can. Oh my god. It's Seath the Spider. That's all this is. I had to go. I'm not even going to say the rest of the script part because it's just me going over how it, similarity to. Oh my god. Who would have thought that would be Seath the Scaleless itself? That's fucking crazy. Oh my god, Aldia! I actually
got this.
I actually like the old Dragon Slayer. I'm glad that it's a boss fight in this game. Oh hey, forgot about that part. Oh,
That.
shit.
Uh-oh. Can you kill him before it breaks? Yes, you can. Better use the repair powder.
Why would I need the repair powder? We make it to the castle and I ask the ghost up here if he likes my silly hat, only to be told I'm an enemy of Drangleic. So I decide to go beat up the Dragon Riders because it'll make me feel better. There's really not much to this boss fight. You go in, take one down, and you beat the second one too. This is probably, in my opinion, the most boring fight in the series. Yes, in the series. Alright. I think that's all Pursuer's dead too.
Mm-hmm.
Apart from New Game Plus. Easy. Okay.
Pick up item. Yay.
There he is. Come on. Come on. One more hit. Yes! And now we have my favorite boss inside of Dark Souls 2. My all-time favorite. The Looking Glass Knight. Probably just the coolest mechanically used boss in Dark Souls 2, in my opinion, besides maybe Fume Knight. Especially when you wear Veldstats armor. But Looking Glass Knight has this really cool perk where his shield actually is a shield, and when you hit it, you actually bounce off of it, even when he isn't blocking. So it makes the fight actually feel genuine. Because every time I fight the Dragon Riders and I hit right through their shield and damage them, I feel like I'm just playing poke a hole in a shield. Like, is the shield made of cardboard? I don't know. But he also has a cool mechanic as well, that he can summon a unit that doesn't feel so ganky. That is something Dark Souls 2 suffers from, is that it's Dark Gank 2. There's not really much about souls, it's about a lot of ganks. Anyways, Looking Glass Knight goes down pretty well, honestly. 10 out of 10 boss fight. Love this boss fight. I've burned ascetics just to fight him a second time. That's how much I love this boss fight. After taking down the Looking Glass Knight, we enter Shrine of Amana. Shrine of Amana is probably one of my favorite looking areas inside of Dark Souls 2, just because I think it looks great. I know it gets a lot of hate, but honestly, if you bring like a bow or a magic weapon or anything like that, you can really get through it quite easily, so nothing revolutionary. But if you want to know why it's called Shrine of Amana, it's because, and I counted, there is only one single mana. A Reddit user ate the other 7 billion, but there is only one left. I hide it in my bedroom, don't worry. It's safe and sound. Regardless, Demon of Song is Demon of Song, and it's Big Frog Grandpa? Grandma? I don't know. They have a wondrous voice. Unfortunately, you know, I'm not a big fan of frog legs, so I kind of just had to kill it. Let's go to the Undead Crypt. Alright, we're into the Undead Crypt. Now, oh my god! Aldia again? Really? Because Aldia didn't want to play nice, I decided it was time to go to the DLCs. The reason why I decided to do the DLCs about this early-ish, or around mid-game where I'm at, is because I like them. First, we grab the Eye of the Priestess, because we have to be able to see the big kitty cat. And the big kitty cat is quite funny, actually. I quite like Ava. I love that my durability on my weapon deteriorates so much faster against a boss fight, because it makes so much sense to have that as a mechanic. Why wouldn't we have that as a mechanic? Well, I hope we don't have to do this a second time. Oh, there's no other bosses that do that, right? 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 Ava goes down quite easily, honestly, really not too difficult. I like this fight, the fight's quite easy. I'm good at dodging the moves on Ava, but not for other bosses in this DLC. That's life. After the DLC, it's time to fight everyone's favorite boss, Taco Bell Stat, Royal Crunchwrap Supreme. What more can I say about this boss fight that hasn't been said already? You got the Taco Bell, and you have him dead. He's quite simple. It was just me running back and forth. There you go. We say hi to Old Man Vendrick, but we decide not to fight him yet because we don't have the giant souls, and instead we grab his ring. I hope it's for his finger. Unfortunately, we have to fight JK Lead's friend Ian the Guard Dragon, but I promise JK, I tried to fight fair against him. Unfortunately, you know, fire breathing is not really fair in a fight, so as much as I love the Guard Dragon Ian, I had to put him down this time. I'm sorry. We make it to Dragon Shrine so we can go up and get the Ashen Mist Heart. But, oh my, Aldia! Okay, you're dying. I'm gonna kill you. As I was saying, for I so was rudely interrupted by an exploding bonfire, I came here for the Ashen Heart. But, right after that, before anything else, we also have to go ahead and kill the Ancient Dragon. They drop a giant soul. I need that giant soul so I can kill Vendrick. Fair trade. Their life for a soul so I can kill Vendrick, that's easy. Of course, you know, for some reason my character likes feet, so we stuck between their toes, and eventually, after about 5 minutes of whittling it down, they finally die. It only took me about, what, 5 minutes? Dark, it's not fine. I died to the giant lord.
It's fine.
The giant lord, Dark. I died to giant lord.
It's fine.
I'm about to die again, aren't I? Holy fuck.
I think I have the first lockstone now, right? I do have a petrified something.
Giant lord did. I grabbed the bonfire stick in case I want to farm him later. I don't think I will, because I don't want to spend like an hour fucking leveling up. After the giant lord is defeated, it's time to go to the dark lurker. We light all 3 of these braziers, which I didn't know you had to do originally. I thought you had to do something else for the dark lurker. I had to look this up. And once you light the 3rd brazier, once you finish that area, it immediately starts the boss fight. This boss fight's interesting. It has a second phase, which I'll get into in just a second, but it made me switch around my tactics. I kept trying to run in and use the rapier and then, you know, start stabbing it to death, but unfortunately it just wasn't working too well. So I got another one and infused it with fire because it had a weakness to fire, and it was doing better, but I was still dying to it. So, after about 20 humanity used and a bunch of bonfire ascetics used inside the Forest of the Fallen Giant's first bonfire to collect the 5 humanity from the chest, I finally pulled off the win victory, and it was fun. Pyromancy is actually quite strong in this game, at least against Dark Lurker. I don't know how it fares against all the bosses. I know in my Pyromancy run it's been decently fine, so this isn't really too big of a deal. But I did learn around, I think, the 3rd attempt of the boss that it has this second phase. I think that's cool. I think that's probably like one of the more fun types of bosses. And the fact that it's just such a cool looking boss too, this easily goes down in the top 5 bosses for Dark Souls 2. And I refuse to acknowledge anything else. But with all good fights, all things must come to an end. And just like the Dark Lurker lurks in the dark, unfortunately the fire, it burns a lot brighter. Raise your hand if you didn't collect all 5 giant souls, or if you accidentally consumed 1 or 2 of them because you wanted an extra level. Just me? Ah, thank you, Tommy. Thank you. I'm glad you raised your hand too. Anyways, so my first fight with this, I think I had 3 giant souls, and I think I tried it, and then I ended up having to. I did beat him first try, but he's honestly, I kind of like the mechanic of having to go and get other stuff to, you know, fight a boss. I kind of think it's a fun mechanic. You have to go into the giant memories, into their past, and then collect something like that. I don't think I want more of it, but I do like the concept. And I think it was actually executed quite well, considering, you know, you get one from each of the little giant carcasses you find, and you get one from the ancient dragon, so it's really not too big of a deal to find it. Regardless, you know, once you have all 5 giant souls, you can just pummel him down to death, and like that, it's really easy. I made a promise to my friend that I would do this. In Shrine of Amana, there's an area that a dragon rider is guarding. If you're human and you have killed Vendrick, you can open up this door. Now, in this area, there's a little soul right there, an item, and on to your left, when you walk in the room, there's a little cave entrance to go up and find a chest. In the chest is the King's Crown. Now, if you go and you gather all 3 of the Ivory Crown, the Sunken Crown, and the Old Iron King's Crown, you get a secret little cutscene if you go talk to Vendrick in his old memories. I'll show that later on. It wouldn't be a Mean King video if I didn't make a major mistake. If you see right there what I just did, and you'll understand the mistake, you'll see why or how I made the mistake in a bit. But this one I didn't make a mistake in. I grabbed 2 knights, and... Okay. All 3 of us? Where's the third one? I got 3 of you for a reason. Oh, I only opened the door, I never met him. After dying to the Ivory King about a dozen times, even with 3 Ellian Blois Knights, I was gonna get the 4th one, but I decided because I was tired of fighting the actual little gauntlet of it, even though I really do like the gauntlet, I think it's actually quite fun. I kind of wanted a little change of pace, so I went and I decided to fight the Throne Watch and Defender. I did die a couple times to them, so I switched up my build and decided to kind of use Shield Poke, which I hadn't done in this game before. I didn't even know I could do it with rapiers, so all in all, at the end, you know, I got the Defender down, and it was just the Watcher, and after that, they go down. What else is new? I died in a Chandra, so I have to keep going back to the Fog Gate. But I decided to kind of play with fire, because hey, she curses people, and I light people on fire. We're meant for each other. Nashandra is cool. Anyways, try to bait out her laser attacks, and when she starts getting close to you to swing her little scythe, just keep backing away and just stay out of the range, and she'll eventually do the lasers. When she does the lasers, or when you have room to start healing, just spam your life gems if you have any, or, you know, keep yourself healed up with other stuff. There's other ways you can protect against curses, since she does curse a lot. But if you just keep the strategy of backing away and not getting hit by the laser and just keep healing, she'll go down pretty easily like you see here. Next up will be Aldia. And as I said before, Aldia, you're gonna fucking die. I fell off the edge a couple times fighting Aldia, and I did try to tank one of the big fireballs, but turns out, yeah, I don't have enough health to tank those things. They hurt a lot. Anyways, I get my payback on Aldia quite easily. There's not really much to note about it. Fight him when he is coming up for air and isn't on fire, and he'll go down quite easily. Ah, what a wonderful fight. I decided to practice a little bit against the Burnt Ivory King. Unfortunately, I gotta practice more because my dodges are definitely not on point, and I choose the worst times to heal. So I decided I'm gonna go ahead and grab the 4th Ellian Blois Knight, but first we have to make a good stop. And here we have the cutest thing ever, the Jabba the Hutt, the white covetous demon. He gets to live in honor of Babza. Oh, fuck! I'm gonna be honest, this was the first time I grabbed the 4th Knight. Normally I only grab 2 of them and just have all 3. But I decided to try to play a lot more fair since I can't choose my stats. Regardless of that, we go through and we fight the Ivory King, and it goes a lot better. I mean, the 4th Knight goes down quite easily because it's an NPC versus an NPC. Not the best. But we get in the best position, and we finally, after dozens of attempts and practices, we get this king down. And we earn this goddamn crown. Oh. We make our way through the frozen outskirts without any trouble whatsoever. I totally didn't have to kill about 50 reindeer to despawn them so I can make the run back manageable. I do like the run back, and I actually like the reindeer. But Ludden I do not like. I like the run back better than the boss. That's something you normally don't hear in a Souls game. A lot of people like the bosses better than the run back. But the fact that this one also suffers from Alva syndrome of everything deteriorates faster. Why would you make this a mechanic and then use it twice? 1 time is fine, but 2 times? 2 times? Sorry, I guess 3 times because, you know, the other one also has the same thing. But really? Oh my god. Anyways, Ludden goes down after a tedious amount of time, but regardless, that's it, the end of the Winter DLC. Let's move to the next one, people. This fight took me about 3 tries, and it took me about 5 to 7 minutes each attempt. I didn't cheese them only because we have a little rule in the Discord server where we don't allow the cheese for the majority of stuff, and honestly, I just don't even know how to do the cheese to begin with, so I don't really care enough to. But the fact that there's 3 of them and they all just target you, and you have one with a bow, this boss fight is... I don't even like it. Like there's no upsides to this fight whatsoever. So we're just gonna skip past it. They're dead. Time for the Veldstat summoner, Alana. I like her. She's fun. She's cool. I drew a picture of her. Here it is on screen. But regardless, a fight that lasts not too long, about 3 minutes, because she summoned Veldstat. Of course, why wouldn't she summon anyone else? So, so I had to play dodge roll and just keep on attacking her. But eventually, just like every other boss up to this point, she falls down. We are currently at my favorite DLC boss inside of Dark Souls 2. I would say second favorite if I liked Fume Knight a little bit more. They're about equal, but Sin is Calamite coded, so he kind of wins that little race of being a dragon. And by Calamite coded, I mean he has about like 3 or 4 moves that are just Calamite. It's just the same thing as Calamite. The little dash he does right there, it's not as, you know, in the air, but it's just Calamite. That's all it is. But I put Gower's Ring of Protection on just so I wouldn't get one shot when I'm looking away from him, and this way it actually gives me a little bit extra protection while I'm healing. But all in all, I did try to cut his tail off, because apparently you can do that. I don't think it gives you a weapon, but I did end up failing. In the end, as all things must happen, the DLC comes to an end once Sin, the Slumbering Dragon, falls. And we collect the crown of the Sunken King. Ending off quite strong, we have 3 more bosses, the Smelter Demon, Fume Knight, and Sir Alon. First up is the Smelter Demon, blueberry flavored if you really like blueberries. Otherwise, for those who like blue raspberry, he's blue raspberry flavored. It changes based on your own desire, which his desire is also his fire. The Smelter Demon is just a basic, another version of the first Smelter Demon. This is technically the original one, since you're going back in time, if I remember correctly, but I don't really see... He's not really much harder. He has more health and does a little bit more damage, but, I mean, if you're getting hit by him, you shouldn't take that much damage. Now, I decided to kind of switch it up and use Poison Mist, because everyone knows the 2 things that could eradicate flame is poison and water, and apparently being stabbed by a raptor. But, in the end, he falls down and his flame goes out, which relights the room up. Because if you didn't know, those little pillars that he takes the fire from, when you kill him, turn back on. It's quite cool. And we have next up, Fume Knight. Fume Knight's easily one of the fan favorites, or one of the most hated bosses in the franchise of Dark Souls. At least for people who actually enjoy Dark Souls 2. The reason being is because he is quite a difficulty spike from a lot of bosses in the other DLCs, being as he has a weird hitbox with one of his moves that he'll backhand you with. And a lot of his things are just a little bit hard to just bypass. But a good strategy for him is just to kind of stay to his big sword until he does like the swing where he does a really long animation of him swinging it in front of him, trying to get behind him then. Fume Knight goes down quite easy when you know what you're doing, but if you're like me and you don't know what you're doing, you just have to get lucky. Or just have patience. This boss fight was one of the ones I was very excited to fight for this playthrough. So fighting it and taking about 10 tries was actually quite fun. Anyways, he goes down, and that is the 3rd crown available. Now, let's go and check out that fun little thing I was talking about earlier, the little cutscene. Place, secret fire, covered over the throne, seek strength. And here's the cutscene. Not skipping it. Not skipping it. You gotta see it. The power of all 3 crowns. Finally on my head with my green fucking hair. Put it on. Yay! 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 And now for the final boss of this video, Sir Alon. This boss fight took me about an hour of attempts the first time, and then I decided to take a nap and came back. I had prepared myself to fight this boss for another 2 hours, only to beat him on my 3rd attempt in that session. I quite like this boss fight. He doesn't really give you a lot of time to heal, and when you do, you have to be like on point. You have to be like picture perfect when to heal. Other than that, this was a very fun challenge. It wasn't really that challenging in a lot of retrospects until you got to the DLCs. Because a lot of the bosses in the DLCs, you kind of need the adaptability. And when you're using a 10-sided die to roll for your stats, and you don't choose adaptability or you don't get adaptability, it kind of becomes a hassle. And I do know that there's the peasant set that I didn't really have access to because I didn't know about it until around Sir Alon. I didn't want to go and farm an hour for a set that I was going to use for the final boss. So I did eventually just suck it up and just fight the boss. I want to thank everyone who watched up to this point, and if you did like it, go ahead and leave a comment down below what your favorite part or what your favorite boss fight is in DS2. Like, do you like the NPCs? Do you like the weaponry? Or do you just like the overall atmosphere? In the end, keep chucking those fireballs. Make sure you aim them decently. Free aim them. Don't lock on. And have a good time. Stay safe out there. Bye-bye.